All right, what's up everybody? As you can see, we are done with the planters. We have trucks in here now. So we finished all the planters, except for we still have to look over one, but we're gonna wait until, we're just gonna look at that outside. So we're gonna wait until it dries up and warms up a little. But we have to go get wheat seed in like a week or two. So we're getting our bulk bed trucks up and running and ready to go. We have to seal up some holes in the back. The back door wasn't sealing quite tight, so putting drilling out the rivets and putting a bigger flap on there because it just wasn't sealing against this right here. And then these bolts right here hold the rollers that go underneath, and there's a few of them that were broken, so they went through here and they fixed a few of those. We also welded up the frame right here, so it had a crack right here. I think there was another crack right there. So a few cracks in the frame. We've only really had that problem with these Logan beds. It's like they hold a little bit more, so it seems like they crack when the beds shift and whatnot. But that's what we're working on now. We have another truck outside that we just started up that we're gonna be bringing in after this one. This one's almost done, and we are gonna go through those trucks, get those ready, and then we have all the manure trucks to go through and get ready, because it looks like we may be hauling manure in about 3 weeks. Just depends on how dry it dries up, how fast it dries up. If it dries up quicker, then we'll be out there quicker. But we got to get everything ready to go because spring's coming faster than we thought. Just about got the bottom flap on. Do you have the top flap cut? Ready. Just got to put it on. Yep. And the air riveter is definitely the best way to do rivets. All right, got it, ready to go.
Let's see how good it
should seals
now.
Should seal.
Should.
Got a lot more flap. Just right there at the bottom where that dirt is underneath the thing. But seals a lot better than it did. Now we can pull this one out and pull the other one in. Trevor went out there to go hop in it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have any issues. You never know when they've been sitting for 6 months if anything's gonna happen. All right, now here's the second one we gotta do. Smoking a little bit. They've also taken quite a few loads out of the cellar, so they're back in there a little ways. I want to go see how far back they've gotten. It is a little windy. I do have a windscreen, so hopefully you can't hear it, but we're gonna go see how the cellar's looking. Still a few sprouts. They do look good though. Just a little bit of sprouts. They're not as sprouted as they were last year, that's for sure. But they're still wanting to stick together a little bit. If the sprouts get too bad, they start to interlock and then they don't want to fall. But it looks like they're able to get them out pretty good. Now, when I flew the drone over, I know it was 3 lights back is where the rotten spot was. So we're about 2 lights back, so we're probably about 50 feet from the rotten spot. We're all really curious to see how bad it is. It was just one little spot, so hopefully it's not too bad. air tunnel is on that side, so there's more air on that side, less on this side, so this side doesn't get quite as much airflow. So a little bit better potatoes on that side of the cellar. Well, enough looking at potatoes. We got to get back to work. Starting with this truck has a lot of broken, cracked bits. It also needs new flaps on the bottom and on the side, and it's got a broken roller. Well, this roller right here is busted. It's just flopping around. We got to try and figure out how to fix that. And there's a roller broken down in this one. Down there, there's another broken roller bolt. And what are you welding up here? More frame stuff?
Yeah.
The frame is cracked.
Broke loose right here on both sides.
Okay. Yeah, the frame is cracked in a couple spots. These Logan beds are built a little over capacity, so they tend to break more than the other ones. But lots of broken welding things to do. And then Josh just finished airing up all the tires. Make sure those are good because we got to drive down the freeway to go get seed, and we don't want to blow a tire. A cool view of him welding right here. Except for it's really smoky. Good grief.
It's melting all the paint.
Yep. Oh, it looks better. Lots of welding, lots of riveting. We're just riveting fun. That's what we have to do when these roller bolts break. They break off inside, so you either have to undo the other side and take the whole roller out, or we just lift it back up, weld a little bead on there so it's holding in the hole, and then weld the washer onto the outside. It seems to work just about as good as a bolt head.
Well, because they don't need to be tight. You know, you tighten those bolt heads and it snaps the head. All it just needs to do is hold it in there, so.
Yeah, so that's how we fix the problem. You just put the washer on there and weld it on.
And it's been working. You can show them the other ones that we've done before.
Yeah, we have, like there's one right there that we've done years ago. It's still holding, still working good. So, I don't know, that's our fix. On the new beds, they have changed the design, so that doesn't really happen anymore. But all of our old beds, they just break off constantly. Well, we got the new flaps put on, riveted on.
That's just dirt.
After a little bit of trouble getting this thing the right direction, but seals up good. Christopher's been welding in all sorts of spots. He's still got a little bit of welding to do. There's a crack right there. Oh, that's actually silicone. Right there. Right here.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That
one.
brace is busted.
From my angle, I couldn't see it.
Now you know. This side's completely cracked to pieces too, so you might want to just weld inside there on both sides.
Who makes this crap?
Logan Equipment, everybody. Man, that's a big crack. It goes all the way down.
most people, this is 1/8 inch still, but they're wrong. It's 2/16.
So Christopher, you got done welding this thing. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I would say it's a pretty bad hack job, but you know, some of my welds, look at that. Look at that. That almost looks better than factory right there. So, you know, Logan, I don't know who welded that chicken crap down there, but that was not me.
Trevor, we'll blame it on Trevor.
But this has had a lot of welds.
Yep.
If you need a welder,
got it all welded, even on the inside over there.
I charge $400 an hour.
So yeah, the next thing we're working on is we have this broken roller. And you may not be able to see it. Oh, you can see it. It's right there. I can touch it. And it's just rolling around in there. So we have to try and lift it up into the right spot and weld on this side, and on this side we gotta take this little bolt out, and we'll try and thread a new bolt in there. Fixed. Now we are just running the bed to get all the junk out. There's some potatoes up in the front we need to crawl up in and get out. But yeah, this hopefully that'll hold. We may have welded it to the frame, but the roller still spins because it's on a bearing. But yeah, that is how we fix rollers around here. Now we got to get this out of here that it's done. We got to go into our storage and grab we need to bring our grain drill in. That's the next thing we really need to work on. So let's go walk over to the storage and see what's in the way or not in the way. It's nice that they're also still taking out the potatoes. It's good to see. Got a few things to move. Trevor's got the side by side getting it out. Christopher just started the 8430. This is what we need. We need to get this grain drill out of here. We may have to move, or we'll probably have to move this. Yep. Yeah, we're missing one of these crumblers up here. But this is what we really want to work on. These back discs. So there's 3 sections. There's a section here, and a section over there. This back section, the rams, and I think they fixed the problem, but the rams they wouldn't stay up, so they slowly settled down and it dragged all these discs on the ground and wore all the discs out. So we have to change all the discs all the way across there. There's quite a few. There's about 40 of them, I think. There's a lot, but they're just these little discs. But we got to change. These ones are still good on this side and that side, but we do need to change all this center section. I'm gonna hop up in our big 9510 and see if it'll start, because we got to move this too. We'll probably just leave this outside because we're gonna be putting grain trucks in here. But let me go get this started and let it warm up, because it's only about 40 degrees in here. We'll see if it'll start. It's hard to see. GoPros do not do well in low light. But yeah, I mean, this cellar, it's kind of a bummer that we didn't have enough potatoes to fill it up, but it's also kind of nice that we were able to store all of our equipment in here. Let's see. Yeah, it started right up. No problem. After sitting all winter, that's not too bad. Christopher just started that one. He's gonna go start that one. Let me get this thing all folded up. See if I can figure out which one folds it. Let's see. That one's not it. That one is it. Okay, well, it is folded up all the way. It just looked like it was down a little bit. I want to back this out of here. Well, I got it. I almost ran over a four-wheeler, but I got it. I'm just gonna go park it over here next to the cellar. Get it out of the way with the semis and everything else we've got coming in here. We're just gonna take all the tractors out so they're out of the way. But it is starting to dry up a little bit, slowly but surely. It's not as muddy around here as it used to be. Yeah, this thing is missing a disc right there. Not sure where it went. Comes Trevor bombing through the mud on our nice freshly waxed tractors. Here comes Josh in the 8330. This is the tractor that I run most of the time. It's lovely that we get to pull all these nice clean tractors out into the mud. And the only tractor left is the one hooked to the drill. I'll let Christopher pull this one out because this drill is his baby. I don't want to break it. This drill will barely fit in our shop. Almost too tall. See if it fits. Pretty sure it will. I know we've had it in here before, but I can't remember if he had to like adjust anything. That grab bar is going to be close, but I think it's good. Yeah, that's good. That's about the tallest thing on here, so we're good. Now they make a 30-foot version of this. That one definitely would not fit in here. We just need to build a bigger shop. Anybody who builds shops out there and wants to sponsor a build, just say it. We want one.
Is that far enough?
Yeah. Yep, we're in all the way. So these guys are working on the discs. Got to replace this whole middle section, like I said. It's going to be kind of a pain. Definitely not the easiest things to get to.
Oh man.
Especially once we get into the inside, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And then Christopher said that it's not showing that anything is hooked up, so he's checking fuses and stuff up here to try and get it to where it actually works, because right now we can't fold it down or do much of anything because it's all controlled with that monitor that he's playing with right there. So
Power. I mean, I got the cameras on, so that's telling me there's power.
So at least we got power.
I'm just unplugging and plugging everything back in, making sure it's tight.
Typical electronics, just unplug it, plug it back in, and that fixes most problems. We'll see if it works. So we're gonna get this thing fixed up and hopefully have it out of here tomorrow. All right, well, we are back at it. It's the next day. They got all the old discs off. They're now putting them back on. You can see Josh's legs. He's underneath it. It is very tight. So they got this side all put on right here. So it's all got the new discs put on, but you can see there's not a whole lot of room under there. Josh is kind of almost stuck under there. And you have to put them on from the middle out, apparently, because you can barely move when you're in there. But as we're sitting here watching these guys, I'm watching the premiere with you guys. This is the video I just uploaded this morning. So watching the video and all the comments. I don't know if that's gonna focus very well, but responding to some comments in the video. Hope you guys enjoy this video along with this video. Got 2 videos in one video. Look at that. It's like Inception. So one downside of this, as you can see Josh down in there. Trevor trying to line up the nuts and bolts. And so this makes it a little hard. The old one, so this, they're in sections. So this section folds up, which if we had to change these, they're really easy to get to and really easy to see. The old one that we had, it split in the middle. So there was just 2 sections that folded up so you could get to all the discs all the way down. But because this one has this middle section, that doesn't fold up out of the way, and it doesn't lift any higher either. If it lifted another 6 inches would be way better, but it doesn't lift high enough. So changing anything or working on anything underneath there is just kind of a pain. So Lemkin, if you're listening, make it so this is easier to service and work on. This little section right here, just kind of a pain in the butt. Finally got them all done. That was a pain in the bum. So they're supposed to be basically touching in the very, very front. I'll show you on this one up here, right here. It's supposed to be basically just about touching, if not touching. And when it dragged on the road, it wore it down to where there was a big gap, and it wasn't opening up and making a good spot for the seed to go in. So that is why we had to replace them. Hopefully we don't have to do it again for a long time. A few more years at least. Now we're just lowering it down to look it over real good. It didn't want to come unhooked, but I pushed the cord right after it just about broke that little hook right there. But it's down, so we can check it out. Make sure everything works. I think the middle has a lock, hydraulic lock somewhere. I don't know where it is though.
You don't want to shut it off from there.
I don't know where the hydraulic lock is for the middle section.
It's in the back, so I don't need to put it down right now.
Oh, does it go down on its own lever?
What's that?
Like, can you put them down separately?
No, but when it's folded up, the middle section has a hydraulic valve you can lock so it won't hit the ground or sink down for transporting. The wings also have a lock right there, lock so the wings won't hit down.
Yeah, I saw that lock yesterday, but I wasn't sure if that was the right one that I was looking for.
But I mainly just wanted to kind of look things over real quick. But I also don't want to turn it back off because it takes a while for it to recognize the system. So I'm just going to look up in the bin real quick.
Make sure everything looks good.
Make sure it looks good, and then we'll pull it out.
Everything looks good, so we're going to fold it up, pull it out. They had to replace all these little black hoses right here that feeds the seed back because they wore out after about 1,000 acres of planting last year. It is nice that it's not too tall that we can actually fit it in our shop, because we can't fit some of our stuff in our shop. It's kind of a pain. Yesterday they took out, I think, 6 loads out of this potato cellar. So I just want to go back in here and see if we are getting close to where that rotten spot was that we saw on the drone. So I'm gonna walk back here in the cellar. We'll go take a look. There's no semi here, so they're not currently scooping. Well, it definitely looks like they are getting into the rotten spot. I mean, those look pretty nasty. Yeah, we definitely have, you can see right here where it's high on this side, that's good. Then you come over and it drops. It started to sink, and this is just the front. It actually is gonna drop more as they go back about 10 feet. This does not look great. Everywhere you can see that's kind of dark is rotten. So there are some good ones, but you can see right here in the middle, that is all, it's not fully rotten, but they are definitely starting to rot. Yeah, those don't look good. Luckily, when we flew the drone over, there was just one, this was the only patch that was rotten. Everything else past this looks good. We just got to get this spot cleaned out before it gets any worse. Because once it starts to rot like this, it'll just keep rotting. It'll rot the next one and the next one and the next one. So once it starts to rot, you really got to clean it out quick. Try and salvage what you can. Some pretty good sprouts up there on the top too. There's like a couple of those are like a foot tall. Even right here, if I just grab this one, like that's about a 8-inch, 10-inch sprout. Not exactly what you want in a cellar. All right, now we have manure trucks to deal with. We have all the stuff ready to plant grain, as far as the bulk bed trucks and the drill. But now we have to start getting all of these trucks ready. So we've got a lot of bearings to check, holes, tires, all the stuff you need to check. Also, I think we need to change the oil on all these trucks. We are in the process of greasing and changing everything. So I'll put you guys on time lapse. The air filter, took the shocks off. They were shot, so Trevor's gonna go get some shocks. Josh has to take a truck up to the repair shop to do some work that we can't do. And then there's a bearing on the beaters back here that Christopher and I are going to attempt to replace, because it's not out, but it is loose. Which one is it? That one. The middle one? So it's not out, but it is loose. So I mean, that would last maybe a day, and then we'd have to replace it when it's all covered in crap. So we're just going to replace it now. So we couldn't get anything to come apart how we wanted it to, so just broke the block off with the sledgehammer. Now we're actually able to torque where we need to. Just a few fires. How are they still connected?
Dude, I don't know.
There we go. Now we can put the new one on. First we have to see if we actually have a new one.
Yeah.
Decided to come see what we're doing out here. Yeah, we got that bearing's not, the shaft is turning inside the bearing won't turn. The bearing on the other side was bad, so we just cut that off. So a few things. Change air filter.
Josh and Trevor took the Kenworth up to Rush to get the rear brakes all redone. We didn't have any pads left. One was cammed over. Rush had to come out here
Oh,
and
which Kenworth?
Number 7? Yeah.
Oh, the 7.
Yeah, number 7 didn't have any brakes.
Anyway, they had to cage one of the brakes so it wouldn't cam over and lock up. So they took it up there and they're getting new front shocks for this one, and 18 they were totally shocked. The shock, there's 2 shock absorbers.
Yeah. They wouldn't go, like, they just moved in and out and the bushings were gone.
Oh.
It's like probably why it wasn't riding so well last year.
18 is that white one. Okay. And that say they're doing some on this one too.
Yeah, there's 2 on here and 2 on there. But I don't know if my dad told you, they just rejected a load. They got to take it to Ryrie. It's too much rot.
They're getting into
Or to that rot spot that we found.
toward the front then. Huh?
It was in
4
like
lights back.
it was like 100 feet into the pile.
That's about where they're at. So
It's a very big spot.
It's probably about the size of a granary. It's about that big
I'm
around.
hoping it's not more than 2 or 3 trucks. You can go look at them right now, what they loaded, it's all rotted.
Yeah, what's in the truck looks black.
They're still going to take them to Ryrie.
They're taking them to Ryrie. I guess Ryrie can make something out of them. I don't know.
Well, they just got, however
They
their
can start
intake,
them out better.
they must just have a better intake system.
Better cleaning way to clean them or something.
I know. Well, we've told them over and over that cellar can't last. It's got to be out by the first of the year.
Couldn't keep it cold enough.
No. So the new air system in that cellar will help.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was because it was saying it was cool, but it really wasn't. And we couldn't make it work good.
That,
We have to take a little pause on the truck here because the trucks, the semis that are taking spuds out of the cellar are stuck in the mud. It's really just soft gravel. But what better time to test out our new Yanking ropes than with a semi? So we're gonna hook a pickup truck to it with 1-inch Yanking rope and see if we can get them out. Got the good old Yanking straps. We'll put them on. Okay, we're all hooked up. See if we can get them out. You gotta give it some gusto there, dude. Is he even trying? You gotta hit it. There we go. Just pulled out a semi with the Yanking rope with a pickup. Heck yeah. Did the job just fine. Well, I know most people never would have thought 1-inch kinetic rope, Yanking rope, and a pickup truck could ever pull out a semi. Granted, he wasn't loaded, but it's still a semi. So if you want to get yourselves one of these ropes, go down in the description below. There's a link you can click on and get yourself 10% off, or use the code RMF at checkout. This one is back on and done. Should be good. It is a non-greasable bearing. We're not gonna remember that. We're gonna try and grease it every single time. But we have another one on this side. The shaft is just spinning inside the bearing, so we gotta replace this one too. But we're gonna do this one the easy way and just... Okay, it's done. And Trevor's been getting the shocks put on. He got here with the shocks, so we're about done with this truck. This truck's all done. We gotta pull it out, but the next truck we wanted to bring in, batteries are dead, so we're gonna go take this charger and see if we can go get it to start for us. Well, this is the next truck we've been working on. We just brought it in. We've been working on it for a little bit. We changed this bearing up there. We also have to change this bearing right here is also out. So a couple bearings out on that, but I'm gonna go out in the cellar because I wanna see how much they've got taken out if they've gotten past that rotten spot. They have taken quite a few loads. Well, it definitely smells rotten and nasty out here. Let's go see what we got. It looks like they are past the worst spot. The pile has gone back up. So it was sunk down basically right here, and it looks like it's gone back up. So hopefully they're past the really rotten spot. There are a lot of vines though. It is definitely, you can still see some rotten there. Those little dark strips is rotten spot, but you can see how mucky this all is. This is where all the rot was. You can even see there's like a little puddle right there. So pretty nasty in here, and it smells terrible. But hopefully we can get past this and all this muck can be either scraped out or hopefully it'll dry up. But it smells pretty bad in here. We were hoping that we would never have to deal with rot again after last year. Last year was terrible. We had an entire cellar go rotten, and we had to take all that out with a dump truck and run it through a wash plant before we could haul it in. So hopefully this is the only cellar we have any rotten potatoes in. All right guys, well I hope you enjoyed that video today. I gotta go pick up my kids from school. I'm sitting here waiting for this train to go by. Make sure you go down below, comment RMF Club if you want to be in the RMF Club. We will be sending stickers to a random comment out of each video that has RMF Club in the comment. Make sure to hit that like button as well. And I know there's about half of you that have not hit the subscribe button. So if you haven't done that and you keep coming back to watch the videos, make sure to hit subscribe. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.